Alright, in this video I'm going to teach you how to make crisp R&B vocals on Audacity. This is perfect for beginners who are just learning how to use DAWs and stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend going straight into something like FL or Ableton. I would actually recommend going into Audacity because it's perfect for a beginner. Before we begin though, consider subscribing and hitting the bell for more videos like this. It's free and you can change your mind whenever you want. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before we begin, the following snippet that I'm going to be showing you is from my song 514 The House Party. I would heavily recommend you click the first link in the description and try the song out so you know what I'm about to do. I didn't use Audacity when mixing that song, I used FL. However, it's going to give us pretty similar results. Also, streaming my music and putting it on your playlist really helps me out and I would appreciate it. But anyway, back to the video. So I'm going to show you the clip that I have over here. First I have the beat. I really like this beat. I made it myself. Has a pretty nice R&B flair. And these are the vocals that I'm going to be messing with, right? So this is how they are, completely unaltered, completely raw. Man, they always talking. Can I ever get a moment to rest? I'm just saying. Now, first thing we're going to do, I really don't need to because it's pretty clean. Like, just listening to like the background, there was barely any audio. However, if for some reason maybe your microphone isn't as good, you're just picking up a lot of white noise, what I'd recommend you doing is, first of all, in order to remove the background noise, which will heavily reduce the quality of your audio, what I would do is highlight basically the background noise. So I really don't have anything except that cough, but like that doesn't really count. If it were just that cough, all I can do is highlight it, go to generate, silence, and now there's no cough. But in some cases where it's like playing even during like the vocals, is something you're gonna need to do, where you go over here, right, you highlight the thing you want to reduce, then go to noise reduction, click get noise profile, and then once you're done, you highlight the whole thing, noise reduction. Don't ignore all of this. I mean, you could specify how much you want, however I like to keep it at here, and then you click OK. And as you can see, nothing's really changed for me because there was literally nothing to remove. So it wasn't really worth it. But for some people, it's definitely going to be noticeable and something you're going to want to do. So anyway, once we're done with this, the next thing we want to do is, first of all, start off with a compressor. So we're going to go over here, compressor. I like to use these settings. These are the settings that I used to use whenever I used Audacity. So I'd go over here, click OK. Whoa, you see like the peaks are getting really loud. We don't really want that, right? So what we want to do next is go to limiter, go to hard limit, just leave it how it is. If it's like this, I'm pretty sure it's stuck like this. And as you can see, everything is much more compact, much more compressed, which is what we want. Once we're done with that, we want to go to equalization, and we want to do two things. First of all, we want to do 100 hertz rumble. So all it'll do is remove like the low end, which we don't really want, like up from like 50 hertz to 20 hertz or 20 hertz to 50. We don't really want that. It adds like a grumble to the audio that we don't want, so we're just gonna click OK. And then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to treble boost, and it's gonna lift up, it's gonna raise the highs at around like 6,000 5,000 hertz. So do this, boom, and once again we're gonna do this again, just to remove that peak that was over there. One quick thing we want to do before we add reverb and delay, which is going to be the final step, is we want to add some very slight auto-tune. I would not recommend you have these settings, okay? If you want to sound like a robot and have people think you can't sing for shit, go ahead and do that all you want. However, it doesn't help your case if, considering R&B is more about like showing that you're an actual good singer and not just like a rapper that also happens to sing. You want to look like you can actually sing, and therefore having this, look how stupid this sounds. Man, they always talking. You sound like Nav, bro. Nobody's gonna think you sound good at singing if that's how much auto-tune you need. So my recommendation, crank this up to like, I would keep it at like these settings, have the retune speed at 47, humanize from 60 to 100, and click apply. And finally, for the reverb, I would recommend using these effects. the main things I'd want you to focus on, I'd copy this, but I'd want you to focus mostly on reverberance and damping, because basically this is what makes you sound the most wet and like in the background. So if you crank both of these to 100, man, they always talking. It doesn't sound that good. So in my opinion, put these at like about this and just copy this. I'll let you copy it, and then you click OK, and here you have it. And just one quick thing that I'm noticing that I'm not really messing with, I'd go over here and actually like cut most of, not all of the treble, god, not all of it. I go over here and like lower the treble because it's getting really annoying. Man, they always talking. Yeah, that's perfect. And then if you want, you don't need this, but I would recommend having like very slight delay. Now if you're not using something that has a tempo in it already set up, you really have to choose like a specific time, which is very annoying. But I recommend having like the level at like from 15, -15, just so it isn't like overbearing or anything. Man, they always talking. Can I? And just, you know, have it like that. Once you're done, if you want, add one more like limiter, and this is how it sounds with the song. Man, they always talking. Can I ever get a moment to rest? I think it sounds pretty good. Again, let me emphasize, this is a program I would only recommend to beginners. If you are like a high beginner to a moderate level, stop using it. It is not, in my opinion, worth your time, and I think it's not that good of a DAW. If anything, Ableton, FL Studio, much better. But anyway, this has been the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell for more videos like this, more tutorials on rap, R&B, indie, whatever. It's free. You can change your mind whenever you want, and I would heavily appreciate if you would also support the music. That is completely optional, but it really makes my day, really helps me out. This has been Álvaro Rubio, and peace.